Hello, welcome to CKE 10,000 Ones Gaming Channel. In this we'll be looking at my Fate Grand Order Set 1 deck profile. So at level 0, we have 4 copies of No Buts Ishtar. It has 2 effects. The first is at the beginning of your opponent's draw phase, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is level 1 or higher, you may return this card to your hand. And has a second effect, which is activate pay 1, put this card into your waiting room, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Chaldea or Babylonia character from among them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and put the rest into your waiting room. Then bring 2 copies of the Brainstormer towards Final Singularity Match. Your other character in the middle position of your center stage gets plus 500 power, and has a pay 1 rest this card, flip over 4 cards for each class review among them. You can search your deck for up to 1 Chaldea or Babylonia character. Then I'm running 2 copies of Enticing Words Fujimaru. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, look up the top card of your deck, put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room, or put it on top or bottom of your deck. And then the second effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, discard a card. If you do, search your deck for 1 Chaldea or Babylonia character. And I'm running 2 copies of New Being Created by the Gods Kingu. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Chaldea or Babylonia character, this card gets plus 2k until end of turn. And then the second effect, when this card is placed into your waiting room from the stage, you can discard a card. If you do, look at the 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 level 1 or higher card from among them, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and put the rest into the waiting room. And then 3 copies of Triumphant Expression Ishtar. If there's a marker underneath this card, it gets 2k power. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Chaldea or Babylonia character, you can place it underneath this card as a marker. And then I'm running 2 one-ups. I'm running 1 copy of Battle with a Strong Enemy Mash. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room. If there's a climax among those cards, choose 1 character in your opponent's center stage, and that character gets minus 1k. And when this card is placed on stage from your hand, pay 1, discard a climax. If you do, choose a climax in your waiting room, return to your hand, so climax swapper. And then 1 copy of Time to Part Anna. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, if your opponent's center stage has 1 or less characters, choose 1 character on their center stage, and that character gets minus 3k. And when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a climax. If you do, choose 1 of your opponent's characters, put it into their memory. At the beginning of the encore step, your opponent places that character from their memory on any position of their stage. Running 4 copies of the 1 combo. Let's just fix that a bit. I'm running 4 copies of the 1, which is the Mistress of the Underworld, Ereshkigal. When this card attacks, if you have another Chaldea or Babylonia character, this card gets plus 1500 power until end of turn. When this card's battle point becomes reversed, if together with Bloom Flowers and the Underworld is in your climax area, put 2 cards from the top of your deck into your waiting room. Choose up to 1 level X or lower character in your waiting room. Return to your hand. X equals to the total level of cards put into your waiting room by this card effect. 3 copies. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 copies of Bringing the Underworld Beneath Uruk. Ereshkigal. If you have 2 or more other Chaldea or Babylonia characters, this card gets plus 2k power and has hand encore. So it's 1/125 hand encore. Running 2 copies of Reassuring Ally Ishtar. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a climax. If you do, choose a Chaldea or Babylonia character in your waiting room, return to your hand. When this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is level 1 or lower, you may reverse that character. And we're running 1 copy of the backup Seething Fighting Spirit Quetzalcoatl. When you use this card's backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If that character is Chaldea or Babylonia, put it in your hand, and choose 1 card in your hand, put it into the room. Running 3 copies of the level 2 Standby Target. When this card gets 1000 power for each of your other Chaldea or Babylonia characters. When this card direct attacks, you can choose a Chaldea or Babylonia character in your room and put it in your stock. Then I have 2 one-of backups. Bring 1 copy of SD Gilgamesh. When you use this card backup, put 3 cards from the top of your opponent's deck into their waiting room. And 1 copy of Shuddering Genius Da Vinci. When you use this card's backup, you can discard 2 cards. If you do, choose 1 of your opponent's level higher than your opponent's level and put it into their waiting room. So it's a EP backup punish. 4 copies of Shared Journey Mash. It's an early play that gets 1000 power for each of your other Chaldea or Babylonian characters in your backstage, and then on play from hand you can discard a card and heal to stock. And 4 copies of the your finisher, Goddess who rules over Venus, Ishtar. This card gets plus 500 power for each of your other Chaldea or Babylonian characters, and then when this card is placed on stage from hand, heal 1. And when this card attacks, if Final Battle with Mother is in climax area, you can pay 2, discard 2. If you do, choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, return them to their deck, your opponent shuffles their deck, and then deal 4 damage to your opponent. And then 2 copies of another standby target, Grandmaster Merlin. All your other Chaldea or Babylonian characters gets plus 300 power. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you can heal 1. And when this card or your other Chaldea or Babylonian is placed on stage from hand, you look at the top card of your deck. And 1 copy of King Who Leads the People, Gilgamesh. If all your characters are Chaldea or Babylonian, this card gets plus 2k power. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, search your deck for up to 1 Chaldea or Babylonian character, reveal to your opponent, put your hand, shuffle your deck. And when this card is battle reverse, you can discard 2 characters. If you do, put the battle opponent into your opponent's clock. And then 1 copy of Supporting Comrades Mash. If this card's on your center stage, all of your Chaldea or Babylonian gets plus 300 power and has hand encore. Then running 4 copies of the Standby Climax, which is for your level 1 combo, and 4 copies of the Final Battle with Mother, which is your level 3 combo, which is on the door. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check EncoreDecks.com in the link in the description below to see an overview of this deck build.